Immigration in the United States dates back some 12,000 years ago when the first indigenous people crossed the ice bridge connecting Asia to North America. However, true immigration in the U.S. dates back to the 15th century when Europeans set forth to what they then called the New World. Main reasons immigrants have sought travel and establishment in the United States were economic opportunity, religious freedom, escaping danger, political unrest, and the discovery of gold. Some people wanted to come to America so badly that they served on ships as indentured servants so they could pay their way to America through work they performed. The Naturalization Act of 1790 tried to limit the naturalization process exclusively to free white people of good moral character who had lived in the U.S. for 2 years. In 1795, this was extended to 5 years, which still stands today. This eventually increased to 14 years, then was reduced again to 5 by Thomas Jefferson. Now, let's look at a couple mass immigrations of history. The Irish potato famine from 1845 to 1850 led to mass immigration of Irish to the U.S. for the purpose of survival. French political refugees fled to the U.S. in the late 1840s, along with immigrants from China and Mexico. Now that we know a brief history of all immigration, let's focus on the start of Mexican immigration. When the U.S. won the Mexican-American War, forcing Mexico to forfeit land, 80,000 Mexicans living in Texas, California, and the Southwest became U.S. citizens. In the 1930s, laws set up deprived Mexicans of jobs, and they were forced, willingly and unwillingly, to leave the U.S., approximately in the range of 1 million Mexicans. Starting in 1954, Mexicans began immigrating up the Rio Grande, an extremely dangerous journey to escape the Mexican government. If caught, the U.S. Border Control was malicious in treatment, harming and deporting many back to Mexico. There is currently a process, and although many immigrants continue to come to the U.S. from all over the world, most are from Latin America. Many Central Americans and Mexicans make an extremely dangerous trip to the U.S. via the Rio Grande and railroad cars. Many immigrants are making this trip to flee danger or provide for their families. Many parents flee illegally to the U.S. in search of jobs, which will allow them to send money back to their children in their home country. Oftentimes, children are left in dangerous situations, especially in poverty-stricken countries such as Honduras, and the money wired from the U.S. simply allows them to finish their education. So, many immigrants today risk their lives on the journey via river or rail cars because their situation is so dire in their home country. They would rather die with the chance of making it to the U.S. than continue living in their current situation. Comparable to the first immigrants today seek refuge in the U.S. from government and political unrest, educational and employment opportunities, and for an all-around better life for themselves and their family. Enrique's journey will follow the true story of one woman who makes the dangerous journey to the U.S. by hopping a rail car to provide for her 2 young children. Her son, Enrique, begins the same path at 16 years old to escape Honduras, provide, and to find his mother. How far will they make it as illegal immigrants in the land of the free?